All right. Hey, hello, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesday and the Smart Money Team Hangout. My name is Charles Lenoir, and I'm your host. I'm the founder and creator of the Smart Money Team. And this is the home of reverse banking. So we have the fastest way to eliminate your debt right here. All right. So welcome to the Hangout. Welcome to the live broadcast. I hope everyone's doing well this evening. Listen, we've got another value-packed show that we're going to be sharing with you tonight. I have my special guest, Mr. Kerry Gaines. Say what's up, Kerry.
Hello, everybody.
Sitting backstage. I'm going to bring him on in a second, and he's going to talk to us tonight about the basic fundamentals of life insurance, okay? A topic that most people really don't have a good understanding about. But as you guys know, the Smart Money Team, I'm all about positioning you to have a better 2021 financially. You need to get financial control. The pandemic should have taught you that things are unpredictable, right? But what you can control is your finances. So let's get at it. Okay, let's get at it. So now, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, maybe just seeing me come across your news feed, you have no idea who this guy is or what we're talking about. That's okay. I want to welcome you to the broadcast. All right. And those of you who are always watching, thank you for participating. Thank you for watching. And tonight, like I said, we got some great information that we're going to be sharing with you here shortly. But as we get started, we always do roll call. So for those of you who understand what roll call is, we like to give a shout out to you guys live on the broadcast. Okay. So tell us where you are, what part of the country you're in. We're broadcasting all across the United States of America right now and really all around the world. So if you're tuning in from a certain city or state, let us know. Okay. All you have to do is comment below this feed and we'll be able to give you a shout out. Now, if you're watching this from our Facebook group or one of the Facebook groups that I may run, you're going to have to give StreamYard permission in order for me to be able to see the comment. All right. So do that. And if you are catching this from my personal page or someone else's personal page, then all you have to do is comment below the video and I should be able to see you on the broadcast. All right. Hey, Top, what's going on? Hope everything is going well in your neck of the woods. Thanks for tuning in to the broadcast tonight. Once again, I really do appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to check us out. All right. Anybody else out there? I see a lot of people tuning in and signing on. I'll give you guys a little second or two to let this register in your news feed. But like I said, if you want to give us a shout out here, just tell us where you're tuning in from, what city, what state. And for all of you that are Smart Money Team members out there, let's make this thing happen. All right. So tonight, we're going to talk about something that really many of us have hardly any idea the importance of this. Now, when I was in the military, this kind of came as a standard package for us to have insurance. But, when you leave, you got to do something. All right, because that standard package is no longer available to you. And, I will tell you, when I was younger, I really didn't understand the importance of this. I didn't really think about it. I didn't know how to leverage it. And, I find that there's a lot of other people like that who have no idea why this is important, especially if you're younger. I mean, if you're early in your years right now, you're probably saying, okay, why do I even need to care about that? Well, let me tell you something. All right, for all you young bucks out there who think that you're invincible, you may think that you're going to live forever. All right, just look around to your left and to your right. Okay, look at what's happened this past year with this pandemic. There are a lot of people under 25 that are no longer here with us. Okay, so don't think that this type of information, you shouldn't absorb it. You shouldn't get a better understanding about it, because what you do now can position yourself for a bright financial future. Okay. So we're going to talk to our special guest tonight, Mr. Kerry Gaines, who's going to give us a little bit more insight to life insurance and let's go over some basic fundamentals and kind of hopefully give you some general awareness and some value for why this is important and why you should be looking into this if you do not have it. Okay. So I'm going to bring him on right now. Kerry, what's going on, my brother?
Hello. What's going on, Charles? How you been, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing amazing. I'm healthy. I'm in my right mind. I got
Good
clothes
job.
on my back, food on the table. I am all right.
That's right.
Listen, before we really get into tonight's value-added, message from you,
Okay.
what I want to do is just kind of let everyone know who you are, and I'm gonna tell what I know about you a little bit, and then I'm gonna let you kind of tell yourself. I won't tell all that. I'm just gonna listen. So me and Kerry go way back. Not only are we friends, we're fraternity brothers. We are classmates. We went to in my opinion, right? And I think my opinion matters. It's my show.
That's right.
We went to the best HBCU in the country, right? Savannah State. And that was where I was commissioned at in the Army. And it was also where me and Kerry really, really bonded, became close. He's my little brother from another mother. Okay.
Absolutely.
And so Kerry is hailing from out of ATL in Georgia. And, like I said, smart guy, good friend of mine. And I think the information that we're going to share with you tonight is going to be some value that you can pass on to other family members. You can pass on to friends, co-workers, or whoever it is that you may think this message is going to resonate with tonight. All right. So, Kerry, before I allow you to introduce yourself, let me just let everybody know a couple other little admin things here. All right. If you're catching this as a live broadcast, again, we do roll call. Please comment, let us know where you're tuning in from. But if you just happen to miss this live broadcast, please still let us know that you watched. Type hashtag replay in the comments to let us know that you did check it out and that you checked it out, not live, so we know that you caught the replay. All right. And we're going to hopefully reserve some time. So if you do have some questions at the end, we'll allow Kerry an opportunity to answer some of those questions. All right. We'll see how things go. Other than that, the only thing I ask that you guys do is tag somebody, share this video with anyone you think this message will resonate with, or that you believe that needs to hear what we have to say tonight. All right. So having said that, Kerry, my man, tell the people who you are.
Hello, everyone. Charles, I want to thank you for bringing me into the Smart Money Hangout tonight. I am Kerry Gaines. I originate from the great city of Atlanta, Georgia. And as Charles has mentioned before, that is where he and I formed our bond, our friendship, and our brotherhood back in the days. I won't say how long ago that was, but it was it was in the 1990s. Let's say that. And here I am in Atlanta. I'm building a team for my insurance company. And it's just a pleasure for me to be on with you guys tonight.
Awesome. So, Kerry, one of the pillars of financial stability for a family is life insurance. Right?
Absolutely.
It's a topic that a lot of people kind of shy away from. They don't really understand the importance of. They don't think that they need it for whatever reason. But what I want you to do is just kind of, in your own words, tell the folks out there why life insurance is important, and then we'll get into some helpful things that I know you can share later on in the broadcast.
Absolutely. Well, one thing about life insurance is that we've been theoretically over the years taught that we don't talk about it. That's something that we don't get enough insurance to bury grandma, and then everything else is left up to happenstance. Well, that's really not what we need to do. We need to make sure that we have a legacy prepared for our families, so when something does happen, there's a benefit for them, so they can continue to live out their goals and dreams, so their life isn't shaken to the core because of your death. They can't mourn you properly because they don't have the income. Somebody's knocking on the door. Somebody's calling the phone saying you owe us this in their time of grief. So we need to have that conversation and sit down and talk about what it is that we need to do to prepare our families in case of an event where someone, a breadwinner, a wife, a husband, even a child may leave prematurely. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight.
You know, I like the way you phrase that we need to have a conversation. I with you as a caller about that stuff. You know, we don't sit down and put any kind of it's like a stigma almost. We don't put any kind of what the word I want to say. We don't really think about it in a way that it's important to us that we should be teaching our kids this and getting the family to understand this. All right.
Right.
And so I think that the way you phrase that we need to have a conversation makes absolutely good sense. Okay. And so we hope that, you know, with the message tonight, that a lot of you will begin to have that conversation. All right. With your children, or if you haven't had that conversation with your spouse or your brother or your sister, or whoever it may be, whoever you care for, this should be something that you talk about now while you are yet alive and not after you pass away. It's sort of that old phrase they say, give people the flowers while they're yet living.
That's
right?
Exactly right.
While they can still smell the roses, so to say. Right.
Right.
So,
right.
Right. So, Carrie, what I think one of the other reasons people are a little shy about talking about life insurance, other than, you know, they think they're going to live forever, is the fact that they don't understand the differences in what life insurance can provide. You know, you've got the different terms. You got term life, you got whole life, you know, and so they really don't know what they need or why they need it. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So what we've come to find out, Charles, also that there's another coverage called group life. And that's the insurance coverage that people have on their jobs. And so a lot of times people think, well, I have this on my job, I have that on my job, that's enough insurance for me. So we're going to talk about group insurance, whole life insurance, and term life insurance. We'll start with group. Group insurance is something that you have on your job. So it's very important that you have something outside of your job. Over this last year, we saw that people were losing their jobs left and right because of COVID. Well, once they lost that job, that group insurance policy doesn't cover them anymore. So now if something was to happen, if you are a victim of COVID, then you go back thinking that you have that group insurance policy and it's no longer there. There's also what's called whole life insurance. And that's what we call a bundled strategy, if you will. That's where you have an insurance product and you have an investment product wrapped into or bundled into one product for you. And then there's also term life insurance, which is insurance that you get for a number of years and then it's over. There's also different costs in each one of those, and we'll talk about that sooner as we go along.
Okay. So really 3 different categories of insurance that people need to have an understanding about. So if I got it right, we're talking term, whole life, and then group. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So what are some of the, I guess, pros and cons of each one? Because I know if I'm sitting at the table with you, I'm probably going, okay, which one do I need to have or and why do I need to have it?
Right. So when I say group policy, we want to start with group. Group is for your job, like I said. That is something that they can take away from you the day they tell you to walk out the door. So you on the way home and something happens, you're no longer covered by that policy. So we want to make sure that it's important that you have it on your job, but outside of your job as well, which is something that they can't take away from you. Whole life insurance is a good product for some people if you like to pay a lot of money for a little bit of coverage. There's also some disadvantages of the whole life product. And those disadvantages are you don't get to keep either your cash savings or your life insurance, which is bundled into that program. You have to choose one of the two. You have to borrow your own money. And You know how you go back and people say, I took out a loan against my life insurance policy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you have a $100,000 policy, you take out a $50,000 loan, a death event occurs, you have to pay that $50,000 back. So instead of having $100,000 that you think you have in life insurance, you only have 50.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to make a decision between taking the cash value out of that policy or either the life insurance. Either way, you can't have both. So that's the downside of a whole life policy. A term policy, on the other hand, is a policy that you can get a lot of value, a lot of coverage for a small amount of money. It lasts only a certain amount of time, but in a term policy, you want to back that or hedge that with some type of investment in an IRA, a 401k, or something to that effect. So that would be the three differences between the three.
Okay. So in terms of a person who may be sitting down and talking to you about those type of coverages, and knowing that you have the advantages and disadvantages of the different ones, what would make someone want term over whole life? And I think everybody kind of understands group. That's sort of like having insurance from your job. Correct. And basically you're covered, but once you are either terminated or if you decide to leave that job, that corporation or that job is no longer required to cover you. So if you don't have something in place and something happens to you, then you're up the creek without a paddle, so to say, right? Exactly. So we're kind of looking at term and whole life then. So why would I choose one or the other?
All right, here's a perfect example of a couple that we helped a couple of months ago. Actually, I won't say their real names, so we'll just call them John and Mary. Okay. John and Mary came to us. They had a cash value policy. They were paying $100,000 for John, $100,000 for Mary. They both were 35 years old. They were paying $225 for that. And inside of that policy, they had a savings plan that would equal up to about $76,000 once they reached age 65. That was their whole life policy. Okay, you got the insurance on one side and you got the savings on the other side. Mm-hmm. In the term life policy, we took that same $225, we put $250,000 on John and Mary, and we gave them that for $80. But it didn't stop there with the term policy. So what we did was they were used to paying the $225. We gave them $500,000 in coverage for $80, and we took that remaining $145 and put it into an investment vehicle, gaining around anywhere from 9 to 12%. Using the low end, at age of 65, they would have about $265,000 at the age of 65. Now, Charles, you and I both went to Savannah State.
That's right.
We both know that 76 is less than $265,000. Now, I don't know about anybody else out there, but would you rather have the whole life policy or the term life policy where you have more money in the end? And I think it's a no-brainer, Charles. $265,000, you can retire a lot better on that than you could at $76,000.
Look here, I might be a product of a Georgia educational system, but it makes sense to me.
That's right. That's right.
It makes sense to me. No, I get it. And I really think that those folks that are checking the broadcast or might catch this later in a replay will appreciate that breakdown and that basic understanding between those different types of policies that they may be eligible for. I will tell you, Carrie, another reason that I really believe that life insurance is important, and you can kind of relate to this too, or maybe even share some of your experience with this. Well, a lot of times people get caught off guard, right? And I'm just going to talk about our community. I think we've all seen this. I have seen brothers and sisters go at it, or family members or siblings go at it because, mama or brother and them passed away, and they have no insurance, and so there's a funeral bill, right? And now there you go, and now somebody got to pay the man in order to bury mom and them. Okay.
Right.
And that a lot of times causes fights. It causes arguments. It causes issues between family members. So have you seen that, or is that common, or you know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to resort to GoFundMe. We have to resort to fish fries. We have to resort to the church, leaning on the church, leaning on friends, leaning on family, other family and friends to cover a basic expense that if you would have sat down with a life insurance agent years ago, this would have been taken care of. And the family will be able to mourn you properly after your death. So now that you've died, the family's destroyed, you're gone, no money's paying, the bill collector's calling. Yeah, I've seen that. And unfortunately, when I sit down and I talk to people and I tell that story, we seem to find that the importance is to get it done earlier or just get it done, period. So what we're talking about right now won't be an issue.
Right. And I think you were telling me a little while ago about something that happened to one of our frat brothers, and share that with the folks. I think people would probably be able to relate to what we're saying even more.
So a lot of times people think that they have time, like you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They want to put it off until a better time. One of our frat brothers, I was talking to him about the importance of having life insurance. Young fellow, he had children of his own. Him and his wife were a young married couple. And unfortunately, they put me off until after the new year. Well, unfortunately, an event happened where she lost her life. And so now they're stuck scrambling, trying to figure out exactly what it is that they're going to do to keep their goals and dreams together that they had for their family. If they only would have had that conversation with me, then we could have properly protected that family. And he wouldn't have to front 100% of the bills with 50% of the money coming in.
Yeah, and I like the word protection because, life insurance also is asset protection. You're not only talking about your family, you're talking about assets. You've got a home, right? You've got a house that you purchased, and you may have a mortgage on it. And if that person that passed away, unfortunately, left this earth, was the primary breadwinner, and there is no insurance, guess what? You've now put a lot of stress on the family to continue to pay the mortgage and the student loans and the auto loan and all the other stuff that was being paid by that primary breadwinner. Absolutely. And if you don't have something, another passive income stream, and you don't have life insurance, you don't have something, guess what? You have basically unprotected those members of your family, and now they are going to be scrambling amongst the grief that they're, I'm hoping they're grieving about you, but but they're grieving right now. Right. They're scrambling, and in addition to their grief, they're trying to think. Their minds are all cloudy. They don't know whether to turn left, turn right. And guess what? That ain't gonna stop the man from collecting his bill, his payment from you. That car loan payment still needs to be made. That house payment still needs to be made. And unfortunately, when you have left your family unprotected like that, a lot of times the result can be devastating. People will lose their home and all that kind of stuff. But let me talk about the wealth building part of that, Kerry, because here's what I will tell you. We in the Smart Money team stress debt elimination. We want to make sure that you pay off that mortgage, pay off that student loan, pay off those cars as early as you possibly can. And with the technology and the things that we push, you can do it in a rapid manner, right? But if you're completely debt free, you don't have a mortgage, you don't have a student loan, you don't have an auto loan, right? You just have the normal everyday expenses and bills. Well, if something happens to you and you're the primary breadwinner, but you have life insurance and you have a $250,000 policy or $500,000 policy, guess what you just did for your family? You just gave them a lot of cash that they can do other things with.
They can continue their lives.
Because it doesn't have to be used to pay off the mortgage or the student loan or the auto loan because it's already paid off. So now you get to pocket that money and do other things you may want to do in your life with. Okay. So you basically gave a significant inheritance or gift to your son, your daughter, or your spouse because you were thinking ahead and in the game early. Am I right about that, Kerry? Am I
That's
mean,
that's that's
I'm on
exactly
my
right,
page.
Charles. That's absolutely perfect. When you are debt free, see, hopefully, if that person passed, they were a member of the Smart Money team. If they could take that money, that mortgage payment or whatever it is, and put it in some type of investment vehicle, and just watch that money grow over the next years, so they would have a nest egg for their family. See, life insurance is your last love letter to your family. It's how you love them from death. We always say we love our family to death. Let's love them from death with this
Mm.
insurance policy that's going to allow them to continue to live out their goals and their dreams, and they'll be able to go to Paris or not have to lose the house or not have to drop out of school because of the death of one parent. So yes, that is a tremendous shot in the arm. If they were part of the Smart Money team that had their house paid off, then that $250,000 could go a very long way.
Bruh, I like the way you said that. That love letter. I like that. I like that. You
Absolutely.
know, man, this is some good stuff. And we're already halfway through the show. Wow. We talked about this. Time
We
goes so
did.
fast when we were talking about things like this that are important to the people. And, so we're going to have to start to kind of wrap it up. But Kerry,
Okay.
before we do, I just want to say to all you viewers out there who are watching this, that it's really important to have this conversation as early as you possibly can, right? In fact, think about it like this, all right? Whether you're renting an apartment or whether you have your own home, one of the household expenses that you have in order to be able to have your household functioning is the utilities, right? You got to have water, you got to have electricity. I mean, who comes home and goes to a house that's doesn't have any electricity going, right? It doesn't have the air conditioning running or the heater running when it needs to be. Doesn't have water running, right? So you can take a bath, take a shower, right? No one does that. You allocate your money each and every month for years to pay those utilities for years, and you don't even think twice about it.
Right.
Why can't we get that type of mentality with our finances and understand that money that we are putting out like that each and every month for life insurance is really an investment? It's an investment on protecting our families. It's an investment on protecting our way of life. It's an investment that allows us to position ourselves and our families for wealth building.
That's exactly right.
Am I right about it?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
You got to forgive me, brother. Sometimes I get on my soapbox, but everybody knows. Well, Charles, he getting started. He about to take over the show. Listen.
Same old Charles.
but yeah. So let me do this, Kerry. Is there any final tips or any suggestions or any other thing that we could provide in this broadcast before we lose sight of the time here that you think the people ought to know, so that they can start, letting this marinate in their mind and in their spirit,
right?
And then acting on it. What do they need to know?
So normally, if you're going to have an insurance policy, it needs to be about 10 times your annual salary for about 20 years. Okay. A lot of people that's not feasible for, but as long as you get something, get some amount of coverage. I don't care how young you are. I don't care how old you are. It will benefit your family. So sit down with your insurance professional. Hopefully it's me. And you can put together a plan that will take care of your family. Sit down and have a conversation. It's not taboo. It's not talking bad. It's not talking up demons. It's not, making stuff up so the family to scare you or whatever. It is about protecting your family from chaos. There's a saying in the business that the person who dies without life insurance should have to look down from heaven and look at the chaos that they caused because they didn't properly protect their family. Let's not have that happen anymore. We must change the way we think in order to gain generational wealth. And getting an insurance policy is one of the best ways to start building generational wealth.
Wow. All I can say is wow, bro. I mean, in this short period of time, you've already fired me up and make me say to myself, I'm glad that I made those type of decisions. And that we're doing a show like this, because again, there's so many of you out there who probably have no idea why this is important, never thought about it, don't care about it. But as a former soldier who has been deployed in the combat zone and faced death on many occasions, I will tell you, that this is something that you need to understand, that your life is not promised to you. All right. Tomorrow you could be gone. All right. And it could be from something just as silly as walking out in front of the bus. All right. We never know when we're going to leave this earth. We never know. All of us think we're going to be here for a long time. We're going to be gray and old and bald and looking like Ray and Claude, No, it don't last. It ain't like that all the time. All right. Some of us leave unexpectedly. A lot of people found out in 2020.
That's exactly right.
That they weren't going to be around in 2021. Right. And they got caught off guard. They got caught off guard with not having life insurance, not having plans, not doing any wealth building, not trying to eliminate their debt, any of those kind of things. Okay. So what we are strongly encouraging you to do is look into this matter. Okay. Look into this for your family. And then not only look into it, do the most important thing that you can do. And that's take action. Take action. Right. Don't be like our fraternity brother who, talked about it, understood that he probably should be doing that, but procrastinated and got caught slipping, as they say in the hood, right? Got caught slipping, right? You got caught. All right. And unfortunately that happens, at least in on our community and people of color. We do that all the time. We got to get better. We got to do better. Okay. We've got to get the message out. All right. So, let me do this, Carrie. I don't know. We've got a few people watching right now, and we may have some people that check this out later as a replay. Okay. And if they do, I want to give them an opportunity to ask them questions. If you guys are out there and have any questions, go ahead and type them, and we'll ask. We'll catch Carrie while we're on the air here, and answer it so that people who catch the replay can know what the answer is. But if not, we will, feel free to ask in the comments, and we'll double back around and answer those questions later for those of you who may be working right now and have opportunity to check us out while we're live. Okay. But this is what the Smart Money Team is all about, folks. We are all about eliminating debt, creating passive income streams, right? And most of all, wealth building so that you can enjoy your life the way it was meant for you to enjoy. All right. None of us should have to work until we're 70, 75, 80 years old because we have to.
Right.
It's okay to work because you want to. But you shouldn't have to work and do something because you have to, because you have a mortgage payment, because you have student loans, because you have that auto loan, you have credit card debt. All right. Come on. We've got to do better. We've got to do better. All right. And it starts right here with us. And if you got breath in your body right now, and you got eyes that you can see and ears that you can hear, listen to this message. Don't be the one, right? Don't be the one who had an opportunity to make a change, take some action, and you don't do it. Don't let your family suffer. Don't let your family go unprotected. So, Carrie, I see everybody. I see a lot of people on, but I don't see anybody chiming in. Either you guys really are confused, or we are laying it out so clearly right now that no one has any questions. So I'm gonna believe it's the latter part of this.
Okay.
That, like myself, I've gotten some enlightenment tonight, some more words of wisdom that I can pass on to some of the younger generation and the younger folks. It's kind of funny saying that because, here I am, I don't know about you, Carrie, but I remember college like yesterday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can't get on the basketball court and do all that kind of stuff we used to do.
Right.
Without my knees buckling or my back hurting. But, hey, I still got a little youth look, and, I'm still all right. I'm still hanging in there. Right. But what I definitely want to do is make sure that that even though I might not physically have all the energy and stuff that I used to, my mind's still working. And I think my mind is telling me to tell all of you that if you ain't got life insurance, you better go get some. Right?
That's right. That's
if
right.
you have a mortgage, a student loan, auto loan, credit card debt, and you're struggling to pay it off, you need to get with somebody on the smart money team and figure out what it is that we're doing to pay off a 30-year mortgage in 5 to 7 years, how we're leveraging technology to do that. Why in the world, Carrie, would anyone want to pay all that interest to the bank, have all those student loans, have all that auto loan, all that debt, and never pay it off? I don't understand that mentality. It has baffled me for many, 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 many years why people think that's okay. But in our community, especially,
right,
unfortunately, we don't get taught any better. We don't get taught better. Our parents didn't know. They live paycheck to paycheck, or, and sometimes by the time we do know, we're 40 years, 45 years old, right?
Right.
You have your own family, and it's really hard to go back, in time and say, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? I wish I would have picked up a life insurance policy for $1 million when I was 18 or whatever, and had that, those kind of things. But anyway, any other parting words, Carrie, before we break?
So I want to encourage anyone who's listening to us. Like, we just had the conversation about how when we were younger, we didn't have the education, so forth and so on. The earlier you start, especially with life insurance, and even more importantly with investing, the earlier you start, the less you have to pay. If you wait to get my age, which is 4, you have to save almost 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 times what you would have to save if you were 25 years old starting this. So the earlier you start, the more doubling periods you have for your money to double. So if you start early, it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot less of a financial burden on your family and yourself going forward. Start early.
That's a super good point. A super, super good point, Carrie. I'm glad you brought that up and didn't let that slip, because again, a lot of times we get the information at some point. Now we're 35, 40, 45 years old. Got your own family going, whatever. But if you just would have known a little bit earlier, I'm a clear believer that there are some things I did right in my life because somebody told me early enough, and I didn't sit on it. I took that action. And had I not took the action, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, enjoying life the way I enjoy life, because I didn't procrastinate. But I was thankful that somebody mentored me, or somebody sat me down, whether it was my parents or whether it was, some of the veterans that I worked with that brought me up and kind of said, hey, young buck, here's what you got to do. And here's why you need to do that. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to let people know, right, that sooner is better than later. Sooner is better than later. All right. So having said that, my brother, I appreciate your time. I think that anyone who sees this is going to get some great, great value out of it. I hope that they will give us some comments and some feedback and let us know. Right. I hope you guys will also share this with anybody that you feel needs to see it. Okay. If you if you know anybody, tag them, classmate, coworker, relative, especially those relatives, especially those family members, because you don't want to be, hey, the worst place to be fighting is at the funeral home. Right? That's right. You don't need to be fighting over the money and who's going to bury mom and them because no one was prepared. All right. Please consider what we're saying and understand how important this is. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure talking to you all tonight. I hope and pray that you'll join us next Wednesday. All right. Again, on the Smart Money Team Hangout, because this is where you're going to learn about our amazing reverse banking strategy, all right, or the rapid way to eliminate your debt using technology. All right, and I see some folks giving us thumbs up. Yeah, I appreciate it, Miss Walker. If you got anything that you like about what we say, give us some thumb up and give us some hearts. What you got, Kerry?
So, if it's okay, I'd like to leave the people a way to get in contact with me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So on Instagram, my name is Kerry W. Gaines. That's CareyWGaines, all together on Instagram. You can also find me on Facebook at Kerry W. Gaines. Leave me a message. Let's have a conversation. We can set up a Zoom conference and we can talk 10, 15 minutes. And I can show you how you can properly protect your family and leave them a lasting legacy if something was to happen to you. Thank you for your time, Charles. It's been great speaking with the Smart Money Hangout group. It's great being on the Smart Money team. And I like it when we can bring both sides of the house together and have great conversations like this. Thank you, my brother.
Oh, absolutely. And so, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you have it. Make sure that you reach out to Kerry if you have some additional questions. If you feel like you can't contact them or you don't know how to contact them, that's okay. I got to put the information up there. You should just watch the replay and you see it. But if you want to go through me, I'm more than happy to be able to reach out to Kerry. We talk pretty frequently. So just let me know and I'll put you in touch with them if you have some other additional questions about life insurance. And listen, we've got a matter of fact, we've got a few of my fraternity brothers who are in life insurance. And at one point, Kerry, I hope to bring you back with a couple of other them that are on the Smart Money team. And maybe we can have like a little panel, right?
Right.
We can have a little powwow that we can talk this out and provide even more information, even more details that the people can take some value from. Because again, this is all about educating you. All right. Even if you feel like you know it all, guess what? The person to your left or to your right might not know anything. All right. So share some of this information with them, especially that younger crew that's below 30. Okay. Because, if you're like me and Kerry were back in college, we had big heads, right? We thought we knew everything and we could do everything. Right. But eventually we get wise and we understand that, that we don't know everything we think we know. Okay. So, Kerry, again, I appreciate your time, my friends, and I appreciate you guys out there who took the time to watch our broadcast live and who may catch this as a replay. Just put #replay in the comments below to let us know that you did see the replay, and we'll answer any questions below there at that time. So, for those of you who are loyal fans, thank you. Those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we hope you found some value. And once again, we thank you to my special guest, Kerry Gaines from Atlanta, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your night. And we'll see you next Wednesday right here on the Smart Money Team Hangout. Take care.